Live from the 607, it's the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour, where we're talking everything movies, TV, comics, and entertainment. Join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag ODPH, because here we go. Welcome to an all-new edition of the ODPH podcast. What is happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us this week. My name is Ken M. You know me. I'm the host. Always next to me is the co-host, the man of 1,004 aliases. His name is Padawan J.
Unlike other sites that are in the wrestling news this week, we actually work with our sources when we write articles.
Pad is coming in hot this week. Woo-hoo. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you want more wrestling talk, 607 TWS this Thursday, live on YouTube on the Fanlight Zone network channels. So you want to follow that. But you're here for the ODPH, where we talk a parlay of topics each and every time we're on the air. And if you want to find out about more, we'll just get the formalities out of the way. ODPHpodcast.com is the website you want to go to for more about this show, where we talk the parlay of topics. We talk sports. We talk movies, TV, comics, and more. The social media links are right there. We do interact with everybody there, but we're also on fanlightzone.com, your home of comics and pop culture. So if you don't find us there, you'll find us over there. Like, we're one of two spots. We answer to both, so make sure you get committed with that. Also, we have a great directory, which, Pat, how many providers are we on?
169,477.
And your source?
Trust me, bro.
So we're already listening to the ODPH on, and you still are, and we so appreciate it. Make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to leave a rating. I am told it helps the algorithm of the show.
Allegedly.
Who am I to argue? We also have a great classified section where you can find out more about 3FN Podcast, Dragon Master Games. And we also have a fantastic music section, which features Brian Wolf and the Howlers, Second Suitor, Tom Jolu, Floodland, Shadow of the Robots, and one more, which I'm still trying to negotiate. Just because I've been playing a lot of phone tag, because I don't want to throw somebody up there that doesn't want to be there, but I'm like 99.9% sure we're good. But I'll catch up with that person this week. So if you want to find out who it is, that's why you go to odphpodcast.com. But if you're looking for those new comic book day reviews, fanlightzone.com. That is what we do, and we do it better than everybody. I said it. You heard it. Let's go. But that being said, you came to hear us talk some parlay topics, and the first one we're going to dive into is the pop culture polarizing show of the week. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I would say so, at least for the first episode. The second one, I don't know if it's as polarizing, but the first one, definitely so.
See, I think there's a little column A, column B with this, because ever since this show was announced for HBO Max, and we knew that this was going to be a project under the James Gunn, Peter Safran umbrella, everybody had a mixed reaction to the trailer when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're dealing with an iconic hero such as Green Lantern...
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have pop culture have varying opinions.
Yep.
And they did.
Yep.
Because the trailer, which features Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre, did not give a lot away.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that really wasn't surrounding the comics per se.
Mm-hmm.
There was some very extreme fans, I will say, that were mad that there wasn't enough costume, there wasn't enough power ring.
It's not comic accurate.
Listen.
The color's off.
The powers that be that are behind this are going to make sure everything's all right. Because Damien Lindelof is tagged with this. Tom King, who knows a thing or two about comics.
I mean, one or two.
Is involved with this show. And finally, we had it make its triumphant debut on HBO Max. Because, Pad, what are we going to be recapping?
The first two episodes entitled Pilot and Trustfall.
Of DC Studios' Lanterns. So, like we do with every show we break down, we give a spoiler-free statement. After that statement, you have to make a choice. Are you going to go be like The Clash? Do you stay or do you go? If you stay, you're going to hear spoiler talk. You're going to hear deep dive theories. You're going to hear the show get ruined for you because we think that you've watched it. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, hey, I haven't caught up yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. Simple. Download the episode. Pad puts it in the liner notes when we go into spoiler talk, so you can watch the episode, then jump back in and then find out what we're talking about, and boom, we connect on social media. It's that simple. So that being said, we have to dive into the first two episodes. So, Pad, give me your spoiler-free statement on the first two episodes of Lanterns.
Solid. I wouldn't say it's the greatest show of all time. I wouldn't even say it's the greatest DC show of all time, nor the greatest HBO show of all time. But I also wouldn't say it's the worst. It's been a solid first 2 episodes. I would say the second one for me, slightly better than the first. Not by much, but just in terms of certain things that happened and certain things that got alluded to in the second episode made me perk up my ears a little bit more than, say, the first one did. But that's not to say it's a bad show. I mean, this is one that right now, I would say, unless you're real gung-ho on, digesting everything DC and you need it in your life and you hate the wait you gotta have till the next property comes out, on the big screen, you might be able to wait on it right now, but for what we've seen, it's solid.
So there's a couple reactions I had when I saw these 2 episodes. Now, I have read a lot of Green Lantern over my years. I cover it every week on fanlightzone.com. Even Green Lantern Corps, which is phenomenal. Shout out to Morgan Hampton and the team behind that book. So going in with this, I honestly did not know what to expect because it has a very gritty crime feel to it. And that what's what we saw in the trailers is what we get on the show. Now, there was so much nauseating speculation about rumors before the show came out that I made sure I avoided them because everybody had a guess about how this was going to play out.
Yeah.
When we got to it, I was very pleased with what we had because I think the lead actors in this have done phenomenal with the job.
Holy smokes, yeah.
But what they're trying to build, I think, is causing a little problems, and that's where you're seeing a lot of negativity come online because they're doing slow burn drama.
Yep.
Green Lantern is not exactly known for that in the comics.
Not traditionally.
No, but I like the take that they're doing. There's certain things that they did I did not like with this show. But for where we are, I'm very happy with this show.
Yeah.
I thought the first episode I really enjoyed. The second one, I thought there was a lot of filler pieces added in.
Sure.
However, the ending made up for it. And I'm completely sold on where we're going. It's going to be a little weird, but you have to remember with Green Lantern, you're dealing with a space cop for the most part.
Yeah.
Extraterrestrials are very normal. You have to get used to it, folks. He's not exactly grounded like Batman. So,
no.
But for what we got, I'm very happy with what we have. But there's a lot of theories to digest. So, Pat, we have to get into that spoiler talk. So, in 3, 2, 1, let's really deep dive.
So, yeah, like I said, first 2 episodes, solid. Not the greatest thing of all time, not the worst thing of all time. I enjoyed it for what it is, and I know everyone was kind of mixed opinions on the cliffhanger ending, where the ending we got with the first episode. The thing I just want to remind everybody, this season is 8 episodes, and at that point we were 12% done with the season. So I would say in cooking terms, the food's not even close to being ready yet. So let it play out, see where it goes before you totally write the thing off before it's even ready to serve. But no, like I said, first episode, solid, good introduction, good setup, kind of got the ball rolling. And for what I saw in episode 2, I like that one just a little bit better because I felt like it took what we saw in the first episode, expanded on it a little bit, broadened the world a little bit, and definitely gave you some moments to sit there and go, oh, ooh, okay, like there's some possibilities, and we might be laying some groundwork here, which is going to be very interesting down the road to see if that happens.
Yeah, I think where we're ultimately going with this is Jon Stewart will be the definitive Green Lantern by the time it's all said and done.
More than likely.
Yeah, and I'm not saying because of what happened at the end of episode 1, because I think that is a very large bait and switch.
Yeah.
Without question. You're not going to tell me otherwise. But I think where we jump in to this episode to lead off, Hal Jordan is Arya Savage, played by Kyle Chandler, who's a very grizzled, if I can use that word, hero, very disenfranchised with a lot that's been going on from his heyday when he was originally chosen to be a Green Lantern.
Which I did appreciate. They didn't dwell too much on the origin. They're just like, hey, it happened. It's a thing. Everybody loves him. Let's get going.
Yeah, and I agree, because I think that when you start diving into too much of that, it's going to overcomplicate things. But
and plus, too, I think the origin story isn't exactly the sexiest thing for him out there.
No, not at the moment.
It's there. It's a thing. Like, you can look it up and find out about it if you really want, if you happen to not know that origin story. But, like, is it the most dramatic thing on the screen? No.
No, but where you really go with is Jon Stewart's story.
Right.
where you see him and his father having a very wild test about conquering fear.
Boy, howdy, Child Protective Services.
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of flashbacks when Stewart was young and to present day, which, I mean, Aaron Pierre has been rocking this role the entire time. So he's been doing great. And then especially when you see him teaming up with Hal Jordan as they're going to investigate this mysterious event that happened in Rushville, Nebraska.
Yeah, it's Nebraska, yeah.
So when you see them start going here, you're seeing a lot of great banter between them. It's really a buddy cop film, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Except Jordan is so just disenfranchised. He really comes off like an asshole.
Oh, yeah, he's a total, and I got to give, I think it's Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler credit for this. He is coming off like the world's biggest dick in this episode, but it works for what they're portraying the character as perfectly.
Yeah.
Because how many times in this series, we're 2 episodes through, we're talking about the first, but 2 episodes have aired. How many times in those first 2 episodes has he gone and tried to explain to John, oh, I trust my gut. My gut's never wrong.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's great, but it's going to get you in trouble.
Well, it ties into the fearlessness that Hal Jordan is. But Hal Jordan, if you've ever read a Green Lantern story, is not exactly the greatest tactician, if you will.
No.
So he does fly by the seat of his pants a lot. So I do like that Chandler has adapted that here. Just the presentation, especially being the mentor to Jon Stewart, I think has been a little extreme at times, especially when you saw his holographic projection leave and send John over a cliff in a car.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is, Pat, and what is it? Reasons. Nevertheless, they finally get to their destination, albeit though John is flying commercial to get here.
Yeah. It's not exactly luxury.
No, definitely not. So they wind up going to an unfortunate incident at the football field where there is mass dead bodies. And they run into Sheriff Carrie Kane, who's played by Kelly MacDonald.
Fantastically, mind you.
Yes, she has been a great star of the show thus far.
Absolutely.
And you see that there's a lot of back and forth about her trying to have her jurisdiction over this, and Hal is sensing that obviously something is not right.
Yep.
And he's flying around into the stands so he gets a better view, and then he does catch somebody running away.
Well, he's watching somebody, and he's suspicious of them because, he's trusting his gut. And then eventually he starts talking to Carrie about this whole situation and specifically the person. And Carrie even says to him, like, listen, we know he's a suspect. We know he's got something to do with this, but we're trying to set it up so that he doesn't run. And as soon as she gets done explaining the situation to him, like you alluded to, he bolts.
Yeah. So Hal knows he gets picked up.
Yep.
And then stages a bar fight to get himself arrested.
Because he wants to talk to the guy.
Yeah, so it's a little bit wild to see this play out.
Yeah, what is it? Hal tells John, like, oh, listen, this is going to be staged, but you got to back me up a little bit to make this seem convincing.
Yeah, so...
Because what is it? He keeps there's the jukebox in the bar, and he keeps playing the same song over and over and over again, and it keeps pissing the one customer off.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's going out of his way to provoke, which... Yeah. It is what it is. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with that.
It's not the typical just walk up to a guy and slam his head into the table, but, it works.
No. All the while, though, John is getting extremely friendly with one Zoe Macon, who's played by Purna Jagathan. I apologize if I messed the name up. And they're hitting it off extremely well as you see that... they take off for the night and shenanigans happen, if you will.
Acquaintances are made.
Yeah, so you kind of sense that something's going down there. And it winds up turning into this big cluster mess where Hal gets bailed out.
Yep.
Because there's somebody that is almost like the Dutton family from Yellowstone, if you will.
Yeah.
Overseeing everything, and that's the Macons.
Yep.
And we see one William Macon, played by Garen Dillahunt, overseeing and more or less saying, well, there's something going on. I know you can investigate, but, let's see what's going on. All the while, we find out that John's lady friend is William's wife.
Yeah.
So that also makes things...
And you know what they say about a small town? Everybody knows everything.
Everybody knows everything. So During this whole ordeal, Hal does get bailed out, and like we alluded to, and he does wind up getting a chance to interrogate the suspect. Mm-hmm. Now, during this interrogation, Pat, and you can tell me if I'm wrong about this, where Hal was asking questions was a little over the top with Harry Potter getting involved.
A little bit, but there is a fun little bit of an Easter egg in that scene that's going on because the actress who plays Sheriff Carrie Kane was actually in the Harry Potter films.
Okay.
So I think it was it over the top? Yes. Do I think it was a fun little Easter egg nod to the fact that the actress played, what was it, Helena Hufflepuff? Or no, Helena Ravenclaw in the 8th Harry Potter film? Absolutely. I think that's the only reason they went so hard with the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, I understand that there is a show coming out on HBO Max. We will not be covering it. So I understand maybe they're trying to get some interest going for that, but it is what it is. So when Hal is going in his interrogation, he's asking some very off-the-wall questions. And he's getting answers, but they're not the ones he wants.
Nope.
And then finally, he does get a little break because the suspect, Waylon Sanders, slips up and says something that more or less outs him as an alien of some sort. And he starts talking about Hal's ring and the Guardians.
He starts answering questions that he shouldn't have the answers to.
No, absolutely not.
And it's answers that like Hal hasn't hinted at the answers to.
Yeah, Chris Coy, who played Sanders, did a great job balancing off this because he acted very paranoid and then got very calm as he started provoking Hal.
Reminded me very much of the Dark Knight interrogation scene with Joker, just minus all the violence.
Yeah. But we do find out that Sanders is not going to cooperate any further and winds up detonating himself.
Yep.
Which Hal has to protect, which I understand there was a lot of online chatter about him putting a bubble around him and then still supporting it.
I say, what's the alternative? Everybody in the building dies?
Well, that's the thing. I think everybody is really worried about his power ring and all that. I'm like, if he's going to handle, he's going to handle it. Now, granted,
listen, he's a dick. He still has morals.
Right. That's what I say. Like, Jordan is not exactly the most upstanding person in this universe right now, but he's going to do what he's got to do. And if he's holding the bubble there, he's trying to force any type of will to keep it together.
Also, he's at the center of the blast. If anybody dies, it's going to be him.
Right. So it made sense to me. I thought there was a little too much made of that scene.
I agree.
Yeah.
I had personally had no issue with it. Like, as soon as, the proverbial timer started going off, I'm like, well, he's going to save himself somehow.
Yes.
Because otherwise the series is over.
Right. So he winds up saving as much as he can.
Yep.
He drains his battery because they've alluded to that he has cut off communication with the Guardians for many years now. And he's refusing to power up his ring, which they haven't.
Strategy, Cotton.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, there's a whole story going on with that they haven't even scratched the surface on yet.
They've alluded to.
Right. But then we time jump again to 2026. John returns to Nebraska.
He's got full control of the ring at this point.
Yeah. And he meets up with Carrie, who shows him that Hal is sitting in the bleachers as he did years ago. And it looks like somebody shot him in the head. And his ring is also missing. So, Pat, let me ask you this. This was kind of the most, I'm going to throw air quotes up when I say it's controversial part of the show.
Yep.
What is your take on this whole scene?
Well, for one, I didn't think he was dead when I saw the scene. I thought it was just a case. I don't know what I thought, but him being dead did not cross my mind. I was just kind of confused. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Why is he just sitting there? Is he like? I thought it might have been a case of like the body's frozen in time or something like that, where we're like, okay, he's not aware of what's going on, whatever else, but. I was surprised. I was kind of like, oh, that's a heck of a cliffhanger, but him being dead never crossed my mind.
See, I was right there. I agreed. I'm like, oh, this is a very interesting ending, but I'm like, there's no way he's dead. The simple fact is, if you really want to get into it, it looked like his body was still in decent shape, I guess I would say, for considering if he really took that much of pain infliction.
So if he got his butt kicked, it wasn't kicked very hard.
Right. So it is kind of telling about that.
Well, and let's not forget, He's also shown in this series, admittedly it wasn't until episode 2, but he's shown in this series he can make body doubles of himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, completely. And that's what I think happened here.
Did we try the whole hand thing? Can we actually touch him?
Well, they grabbed the hand, but it was also very telling about his ring finger.
Right.
Because at this point, when you have a Green Lantern ring, you're supposed to have a ring around your finger.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying the power ring itself, but
Right.
an actual green ring about your hand.
Right.
It was missing. So what does that mean? We don't know.
Yeah. To be determined.
It's to be determined, but I think for everybody that was instantly like, how could you kill him off?
It's the first episode.
Give it time, folks.
Holy smokes.
Because now it's going to be a lot of investigating and tying things together, which we'll get to as the series goes on. But there's a lot of room to go with this. I mean, at the worst case scenario, okay, this version of the DCU doesn't have a Hal Jordan. You're going to have an amazing Jon Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Green Lantern Corps is gone.
Right.
Let alone have we not thought about comics and how many times Hal Jordan has died in comics.
I'll say in the comics presently, how many Green Lanterns does Earth have?
Exactly.
It's more than one.
Right. So
it's more than 2.
So we haven't scratched the surface about that.
Yeah.
I know I got hit up on social media. I don't even know what they're going to do with Kyle Rayner. I think that is way down the road, maybe a season 2.
If they even do season 2.
Oh, I think they will. I think based off how the show is doing ratings-wise,
yeah,
I think there'll be some conversation at least.
Sure.
And you do have a lot of room to grow with because you deal with the core.
Right.
Which they kind of allude to a little bit when we go to episode 2 entitled Trust Fall.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do see the time jump and about Hal needs his ring powered up.
Yep.
And he's also doing one of these hazing tests. That's the easiest way I could describe it.
Yeah.
With John, because I don't really think it's testing anything. I think it's just more of
it's a hazing thing. It's the old military. Hey, here's a dog, raise it, love it, care for it, all this other stuff. Just without the ending in that training exercise. If you've ever heard of it, if you haven't, don't Google it.
Yeah. So we see Hal send John to go to his house, and he's living in a mansion.
Yeah.
Which he claims somebody bought for him.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say this is Bruce Wayne.
No.
If you know them in the comics, they absolutely detest each other. It's a very true story.
Mm-hmm.
Batman does not like Green Lanterns at all, even though he has one of the most iconic moments where he punches out Guy Gardner in one punch. It's classic from the 80s.
Guy deserved it.
Oh, yes, he did. No, it's like I say, it's a fan favorite moment of all DC Comics fans, hands down. But I don't think he was bought this mansion by him. Now, is it possible it was Maxwell Lord?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I'll throw that rumor out there, but we'll have to wait and see. But meanwhile, John breaks into his house, and he's following the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And he winds up finding the lantern itself.
Yep.
In a mysterious
pocket
dimension a la Superman.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly where we're going with that.
Yeah. Might just be a convenient way to explain why it's not sitting out in the open.
Maybe. I mean, I could see that if they want to start tying in mother boxes and Darkseid and all that. I mean, that's.
I don't think they're going that way yet.
I mean, I think if they want to plant some seeds for it, they could. But you got a lot of moving parts.
I just took it to be a convenient explanation for why it's not sitting on his bedside table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it could be, but we obviously see Hal needs it because I know they open the series where he's flying in air and then he winds up crashing right on the ground.
Yep.
So at this point, too, though, Hal is insistent on going and talking to William because now he has more questions than answers.
Yeah.
And when he shows up on William's ranch,
he tells him politely to F off.
Yeah, William is not having it, and he has a sniper on his roof, which I'm like.
Well, I don't think I don't necessarily think it was on the roof. I think it was like at a guard stand or like a hunting stand or something.
Yeah, but it was kind of just ironic timing for that, which I was like, okay, there's something way more going on here.
Yeah.
And when Hal is not ready to go, well, he winds up taking a bullet in the shoulder.
Yeah, he tries bluffing him. He's like, oh, come on, I got the ring. I'll just throw up a...
Yep. So Hal winds up going to the hospital, and him and Carrie have a very noteworthy talk. We do find out one little Easter egg that Carrie is from Gotham City.
Yeah. So, this got my ears up.
Well,
she almost alluded to a family.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Certain family, the last name starts with W, ends with Ain.
Yep. So
They didn't say it.
if you know the comics, Bruce Wayne's cousin is Kate Kane, a.k.a. Batwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a possible connection here? Now,
They're not name dropping Kane for nothing.
No, I agree. They're definitely not. But I am going to say right now, I don't think that this
No.
is Kate Kane.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
But I think this is a situation like whatever Tom Holland Spider-Man movie was, where like we met Miles' uncle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think this is a setup for a future Kate Kane appearance.
Yeah.
Be it small screen or big.
Mm-hmm. Which, listen, the current series is amazing. Anything Greg Rucka writes with Kate Kane is money for me. So bring it on. I'm all for that. But we do see, though, Hal is kind of giving his orders a little bit to John. John has to feed his space alien plant, which was Little Shop of Horrors-esque.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to think of that. I think that this moment stretched a little too long.
I think it definitely felt like time filler.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I understand you want to do the homage to Little Shop of Horrors. That's fine. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was very unnecessary.
I don't necessarily think every superhero needs to have what's the word I'm looking for? Like a gallery, a la Batman's got all of his trophies. Superman's got his. It's not the right word, but I'll call it a museum.
Yeah, no,
You know, he's got his museum. At least if in some comics and I know the animated series, you know, he had his museum of fauna and plants and animals and whatnot. But does every hero need something like that?
Yeah, this felt really out of place with Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
I will say this. Like,
Yeah,
I
agree.
I honestly thought this was
I agree.
This was supposed to be comedic filler. It just was filler.
Yeah.
Like I say, nothing really to write home with this. But the takeaway is John does get the lantern. He does get Hal's suit.
Yeah.
And there is that moment he's looking in the mirror and seeing his own destiny, which, like I say, they've already tipped their hand. John is going to be the Green Lantern by the time it's all said and done, which, bring it on.
Which is fine.
Bring it on. No, like the sooner the better. I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
So we do see, though, when he's on his way back, well, he is attacked and kidnapped by aliens that have a connection to Sanders. So we do see that the suspect that blew himself up in the police station,
He's not alone.
he's not alone. And we do see that John is taken away to meet up with an Anton. And Anton is kind of schooling him about a few things. So Paul Ben Victor is telling him about the truth, and he's really making a big deal about vengeance and anger and rage.
I am Batman. Oh,
Well, he kind of tips his hand that they're searching for a manhunter.
hell of a name to drop in episode 2.
Well, if you're not, like I say,
baby.
That's a very legendary villain of the Green Lanterns, a robot that let's just say when you see them, they're up to no good, and they have been responsible for wiping out entire alien races. So they're nothing nice. Now, there is an online rumor, and I stress rumor, about who Anton really is. Pad, do you know this?
No, I have not heard this.
Atrocious,
Ooh.
the Red Lantern leader.
Right. That makes sense.
I'll say this. If you want to ask Lock and Leap, I think it's 50-50 split, honestly.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Now, if they did the Red Lanterns, sure, that's a little crazy at this stage, but it depends. With 8 episodes, like you alluded to, they got to make some ground up.
Sure.
If they want to plan it as an Easter egg, that is something. But how that's going to play out ultimately, I don't really know. But they do wind up laying down a very direct ultimatum to John. And they literally say, you have 48 hours to find the Manhunter, otherwise we destroy this city.
Yep.
And everybody with it.
And oh, by the way, you can't tell how.
Yeah, you can't tell Hal. Well, John winds up finally meeting up with Hal.
Because he's on like day 2 of training.
Mm-hmm. And when he gets there, there is a moment that I know some people had some questions about online, and I want your take first.
Okay.
We do see Hal power up the ring.
Yes.
Did you have any issue with how fast he said the oath?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't either, because, once again, there is a major disconnect with him and the Guardians.
Yeah, you can tell he's disenfranchised by the whole thing.
Yeah, so he doesn't even want to use his ring at all.
Right.
So the fact that he did the oath super fast, it's going to show there's a larger rift between him and the Guardians. And we'll find out eventually what that is. But for right now, Who knows? But John winds up telling him all the information that was said.
Yep.
And during that conversation, something is set off in Hal's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And Hal is like, okay, well, we got some work to do. And when they said manhunters, that was the ultimate.
What is it? John mentions manhunters to Hal, and Hal says, "Where did you hear that name?"
Yep. So we do see that Hal winds up taking off on John, and he goes into space to a prison.
BRB.
Yep. And we find out, Pat, who is sitting there in the cell that he wants to go talk with?
Sinestro.
The greatest Green Lantern villain of them all. So Ulrich Thompson is playing Sinestro. So how this is going to play out, and you could already tell just from the little time they had together, their chemistry is going to be amazing.
There's history.
But you can definitely tell that there is a lot of bad blood. I know online there was a lot of speculation this is going to be like Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Kind of like that's how Sinestro is going to play to the.
I'd be on board with that.
To his FBI agent.
That'd be great.
Listen, I could see it. I could definitely see it because Sinestro is prying at him already, saying, the Manhunters are the second worst threat you have to do. What do you know about John Stewart? So he's already planting the seeds of doubt in Hal's mind.
Which doesn't take much.
No, Hal is just literally fly by the seat of his pants in everything he does. So the fact that he's kind of toying with about this, is alluding to a lot about John, who I know we didn't speculate a lot about the training and the bird.
Yeah.
Which, John manifested because he was learning how to fly. He couldn't do it.
He tried to fly, and he manifested a bird.
Yeah, he manifested a bird that stayed with him the entire time.
Well, it ended up staying with him because that was his training mission, part of his training, which was like, hey, go get my power cell, whatever it's called, and come back. And, oh, by the way, the bird's got to stay around and alive the whole time.
Yeah, which I know is a little weird because he doesn't have a ring.
Yeah.
So how he did it himself. Now, unless they want to try doing something like is a variation of what's going on in Green Lantern Corps, where Guy Gardner is the all-sight of OA, which, read Green Lantern Corps, you'll understand this. It's a little weird to try explaining in podcast form, but let's just say that the power level of certain lanterns is higher than normal.
True.
To put it mildly. So could that be a situation for John Stewart that maybe he is secretly... maybe a sleeper agent for the Guardians already, that he can do this? Who knows? But I think that they've been really planning on centering this around John's journey, so we will see more of that as it plays out. Like I say, everybody else kind of really had moments with the cast. I know John caught up with his quote-unquote love interest right now, which I know there's a lot of speculation about her being the Manhunter, which would not surprise me because she happens to show up at the most awkward times.
Yeah.
So could that be the case? Yeah. Could it also be that William is the Manhunter?
Ooh.
There is so much that you have to kind of speculate because especially with the scene at the high school stadium, the metal detector wasn't working.
Right.
But it was detecting aliens.
Right.
So maybe that was a case for it. We don't know. There's still so many up in the air parts moving with this. It's made it very interesting to watch. But I can understand some backlash about this if people don't like slow burn dramas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, we know we're getting that here, but I think that's where it's causing the big disconnect.
People want the payoff now. People want to see, Hal Jordan duke it out with Sinestro in episode 1. Mm-hmm. They want the payoff, but they don't want the buildup.
Right. But that's what we're going to get here, and that's what we should get here. Because the buildup is all about John Stewart. Hal is an accessory at this point.
Yep.
Now, will his story play out? Sure. And granted, I think by the time it's all said and done, he might be running the Green Lantern Corps.
Could be.
Hal will. And he'll take off into space, and then we go from there with him. But I think for right now, this is the whole build-up for John Stewart taking the place as the head Green Lantern of Earth at the moment.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job with it. And, there's a lot of room to really grow from this. So, Pat, final thoughts on...
Really good first 2 episodes. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm kind of interested to see how it develops and maybe see what else they decide to introduce down the road because there's a lot of possibilities you could do with this.
Absolutely. Lanterns is on Sunday nights, HBO Max. I believe that's the official name of it now.
Yes.
So definitely make sure you're checking that out and hit us up on the hashtag ODPH Pod. Let's talk Lanterns episodes 1 and 2 entitled Pilot and Trustfall. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And why? Let's discuss, shall we? But first, we're going to a quick break. We'll be right back. Comics the Magazine is the powerhouse periodical you need to have. From creator interviews to insightful articles, Comics delivers the best parts of the fandom each and every issue. It has an exclamation point in its name for a reason. So what are you waiting for? Get to your local comic shop and pick up the latest issue and check out comicsthemagazine.com for more information. Comics, the Magazine, is what the fans are reading. Coming back for another segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. And we have to recap the season that was. It's already crazy to think it's already come and gone, but that's the beauty and the curse of streaming.
Yeah.
A long-awaited sequel finally came out on Prime Video in August of this year. And it was one that we had been waiting for quite some time because obviously there's a little hype going around with it.
Yeah.
And obviously knowing the predecessor, it's following in because it's probably the closest we're getting to arguably the greatest animated superhero show of all time.
Yeah.
It has big shoes to fill.
Yes.
Season 1, they did a really great job with it.
Yeah.
Season 2, though, well, that's what we're going to be discussing. And Pat, what is the show we're talking about?
Batman Caped Crusader.
Yes, so the hit animated series that is produced by Bruce Timm, J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, definitely made a lot of noise its first season because it's probably the closest homage to Batman the Animated Series we're going to see in the modern day. And season 1 was a super, super smash hit.
Yeah.
Hamish Linkler was Bruce Wayne voicing. Jason Watkins was Alfred. And really took a lot of creative takes with the mythos of Batman in that year 1, year 2 range. So we had a lot to be enjoying about. It was one that I don't want to say was really for kids because it was not.
I would say a lot of people were like, oh, it's going to be like Batman the Animated Series just because Bruce Timm worked on it. And for those who don't know, Bruce Timm was heavily involved with all of the DC Animated Series stuff back in the 90s into the 2000s. You know, he obviously worked on Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, you know, the new Batman Adventures, you know, Batman Beyond and everything that came with that. So Justice League Unlimited, you know, so that whole golden era, I would say, of DC Animated Series, you might sit there and go, oh, he worked on that. This is going to be great to watch with my kids because I grew up watching Batman. No.
Yeah.
No. Wait till they're a little older.
I was going to say, yeah, this is definitely not meant for kids in any way, shape, or form. But it's not mature viewers, though, I would say.
Right.
There's moments in this that have their issues. But season 1, great success.
Yeah.
And like I said, Linklater, I apologize, I messed the name up earlier, did a great job voicing Bruce.
Yeah.
And really the cast of characters they had involving this world, like they did a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That season 2, the bar was set pretty high. It kind of seemed, though, to fly under the radar. I know there was a noise about it at San Diego Comic-Con this past year.
Right.
So the season finally came out. Pat and I have both watched it. So what we're going to be doing is breaking down the season that was of season 2 of Batman Caped Crusader on Prime Video. Same rules as before. We give the spoiler-free statement. We go into the countdown. We talk some spoilers. So, Pat, that being said, give me your spoiler-free statement on Caped Crusader.
I thought season 2 was good, but it took a little bit for it to really start clicking for me and me to really enjoy it. You know, maybe it was just because it's been, 2 years since I've seen season 1, because season 1, all of the episodes dropped on August 1st of 2024. And we're sitting here, and the episodes dropped 2026 at the end of July, beginning of August. So basically 2 years to the day, since we saw season 2. So maybe that's got something to do with it. But for me, it was good. I really enjoyed it by the end of the season. But I think for me, it took until episode 4 until it really, the Devil's Due, where it started clicking. That's not to say the first couple episodes are bad, but it just felt like such a disconnect. And, I just felt like it was missing something that, I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But once I got up to episode 4 and through it, I went, aha, okay, now we're clicking.
So I think I know exactly what you're referring to.
Okay.
But I might have to save it for the spoiler talk.
Okay.
I thought the season was very good. I don't think it was better than season 1.
Agreed.
But I still think it's a very, very good show. And I think the problem that maybe caused the disconnect, and I'll word this as best I can, is one of the problems that you have when you have so many villains involved.
Yeah.
And you try going for a lot of different takes on them, that there's so many moving parts that by the time you get from point A to point B, you're expecting more than you don't get. Mm-hmm. And it's not to say you didn't get great episodes. You did.
Oh, yeah.
But I think for where the expectation was from episode 1, and considering how that ended, then to go to later in the season where we don't really even see said villain
Right.
until the very end,
Right.
it leaves a little bit, wanting more, because once you see said villain, then you're expecting, okay, well, when are they coming back? And granted, it's not a bad play what they did, but
No.
I can understand where how that episode ends and you're all excited. Okay, after brute force. I mean, that's not a spoiler. That's the name of the title of the episode. But after that, they tease it one more time, and then they go away from it for about 3-4 episodes.
Right.
And then we come back.
Right.
So it's but at this point, you've already had somebody fill that vacuum.
Yep.
So, albeit though, I think that was the only thing I really had a gripe with. I liked some of the takes they did.
Yeah.
I will say this: the one episode that threw me for a loop,
Okay.
and I still was like, I can't believe they pulled it off, was episode 5.
Oh, Spectral Hand. Yeah, that was a wild one.
That's a wild one, but knowing what they did, I was like, I applaud them,
Hey,
because
listen, J.M. DeMattis wrote that episode.
yes, and brilliantly, because I saw that and went, oh, that's a reach, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I am here for this.
Yeah.
So it ends, though, very strong, and I don't know if there is word of season 3.
Not that I've heard, no.
Last I knew it was going to be 2, and that was it. So I'm hoping we get a third out of this, which this isn't spoilers, this is saying how good the season was. But I fear we're going to spill into more spoiler talk, so I'll just say you definitely should watch this, and that's my spoiler-free statement. So, Pat, why don't we take the deep dive in 3, 2, 1?
Like I said, season was really good. Took a little bit before, it really started clicking for me. But once it clicked, oh, man, it was on point and clicking very well.
I think after episode 1 where you tease the Joker, and I'm sorry, the Joker is the number 1 Batman villain.
Yep.
There's not a debate. He has great, number 2s, and you can debate all day who's in the number 2.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Joker.
Yep.
You introduce him in 1, you tease him a bit in 2, and then you don't even approach him till episode 7, 8?
It's that or 9.
Yeah. It's late. It's 9. No, you're right. It's 9.
Yeah.
On a 10-episode season.
Yeah.
When you introduce a charismatic villain like that.
Right. Well, and somebody who's as well-known and beloved as Joker is.
Right. To have it disappear, and then your next villain, you're dealing with the space episode.
Oh, yeah.
With the armor and the rocket.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not a bad episode.
Right.
It is not. But it's you go from one path and it's straight ahead, and you take the scenic route, and you're like, where are we going? And then by the time you get back, that's where I think the biggest problem I had was.
Right.
Plus, I also did not like how they wrote the Riddler.
I didn't either. Just for how I've seen him and the iterations I've seen, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't exactly one I will remember at the top of my mind.
No, definitely not. I mean, and it's nothing against Ronan Rafferty, who voiced Edward.
Right.
It's not.
No.
But I think for how they did him, the take just didn't work, because instead of having him being this intellectual
mastermind,
you had him just be the psychotic thug,
right? Who took over in the power vacuum? Yeah,
but was also his trademark was the bullets with the question marks. It wasn't even him.
Yeah.
And granted, I will not fault them for taking a shot. Just sometimes it doesn't work. No pun intended.
No, I agree. I mean, when I think Riddler, I think back to, I forget what episode it is, but there's one episode in the original Batman animated series where he's the main focus, he's the main villain, and it's Batman and Robin, Dick Grayson, running around around town the entire time trying to figure out his riddles and stop him. And that, when I think of that, and as much as it annoys me, and God, I shiver when I think about it, Riddler in the Arkham games.
Yeah,
that's what I think of it from Riddler. Is, listen, he's a pain in the butt, but he's one of the type that he can't let you know he did something without leaving a clue behind or a riddle behind. I don't think of him as the gangster who, in the one episode, drives by the the
flower shop.
the flower shop, and basically does the 1920s drive by.
Yeah.
That's not what I think of.
Yeah, like I say, it was kind of a little bit more of a jarring take, if I can use that word.
Yeah.
Like it was one that I don't think really hit where it needed to.
No.
And that was kind of the big problem I had, because they really messed around with the rogues gallery.
Yeah.
And granted, some worked, some didn't. But I thought that take didn't work. I didn't mind Poison Ivy.
No.
Had no issue with
that. That was great.
That was one of the stronger episodes I think they've done.
Yeah, agreed.
So
and you can bet if they decide to do season 3, she's coming back.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they really were introducing a lot of new characters for this, which, like I say, I'm not mad about.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have arguably the deepest roster of rogues in this universe that it's like, okay, let's go play around in the toy box and let's see something that works and see what doesn't.
Right.
So it's like when you can swing that, yeah, that definitely works. And I think that they did that, especially with her brief stint on. But I mean, for the fact that she's the one who took out Riddler.
Yep.
Which it wasn't as shocking as I thought it was going to be.
No.
It really wasn't. I think when they did that, I was kind of like, okay, well, that's...
and especially just the way she kind of develops during the episode. You had a feeling that, okay, someone's not making it out of this alive.
Yeah. So when you see that, or I believe they called her Thorn on the show.
She started as Rose.
Yep.
And then once she adapted the persona, it became Thorn. But let's face it, she's Poison Ivy.
Yeah, you exactly saw that. And Frida Wolf, who voiced her, did a great job as well, too, like flipping personas and doing that. So, like I say, I had no issue with that episode. And like I say, I like the fact they took a couple gambles. The one that, like I say, I alluded to earlier, the Spectral Hand. The fact you did the Spectre in this.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah.
But I was on board with it. I mean, I thought Jim Corrigan is a very polarizing character in the comics.
Yeah.
And especially if you read JSA recently, and they just had a whole thing about the Spectre and how that's going to play out. That is, you walk a very fine line with him. Mm-hmm. I loved how they set it up. I loved how he came back, and like literally, and they didn't come out and say it was the Spectre, but you could tell,
right?
And just how that whole episode played out with Barbara and just the ending. Like, I think that might have been my favorite episode of the season.
Oh, yeah.
But I really liked the take on it because it was something fresh and it was something different.
Well, and that's the thing the animated series for Batman, no matter which version you're looking at, has always done. They've always taken, I feel, those big swings with some of the lesser known or maybe villains you might look at and go, can you do an episode with this? Maybe. I don't know. And it ends up working really well. The one I can think of is in the original animated series. I forget his name, but there's the one guy, who ends up being late for a meeting with the mayor, or the mayor end up being late for a meeting with him, and the guy takes it personally and turns into this villain who can control time.
Yeah.
And he starts messing around with this. Like, is he the greatest villain in the animated series originally? No, but is it a memorable episode? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But no, that's why I thought when they hit their strides and they really nailed that, they did fine.
Uh-huh.
I just think that, it's the problem when you come off such a big premiere.
Right.
That you have to really grasp for something. Because I think there was a couple episodes that was like,
yeah,
I'm not exactly sure about. I mean, like I said, episode 2, I wasn't in love with.
Yeah.
The Rockets Red Glare one. I thought it was a good episode.
But it was fine.
But it wasn't like one that really floored me. And then I thought even too, The Devil's Due was kind of like a bit of a stretch, but I understand where they were going with it because they've done enough in the comics with that.
Right.
That it at least explains it.
Yeah.
But I think, though, when they get to 0 Hour.
Ooh, baby.
And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is going to be either really good or really bad. Mm-hmm. Just because if you know
there's
that.
a lot of homages.
Yep, there's a lot of homages, and have them introduce Carrie Kelly as Robin, who she's eventually going to be playing, which is going to happen. There's no question of that. Who Julia Donenfeld, amazing job on the voice work. I thought they really nailed that, especially doing the iconic Frank Miller kick scene.
Yep.
Against Mr. Freeze, or Mr. Zero, I should say.
Mr. Zero.
Yeah, which, like I said, no arguments about the changes for this here. I thought they really, really did a good job. But I think like with Riddler, that was probably my biggest gripe because they put him on such a high pedestal.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything like he should have been running the family or the crime family. Like there's no way he should have been.
No.
He's it's almost like Starscream running the Decepticons. No matter how much they think they can, they can't.
Yeah.
That goes to Shockwave. Let's never forget that. Anyway, but when we get to the finale, though, that's where I really thought they found it. And I know, Pat, you were in love with this episode as much as I was.
Oh, yeah. No, final 2 episodes, especially the last one. Good Lord. Might have been some of the best work I've seen in an animated episode of Batman.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I haven't seen the new Nightfall movie, Part 1, which is apparently real good.
Yeah.
But holy smokes, this one, I was surprised with how far they pushed the envelope.
I was too, but something that this series has done, and I thought this season, good or bad, they've done enough with it that I wasn't as shocked. I was more shocked at the beginning when Batman was fighting the thugs by the airplane.
Yeah.
And one went through a propeller.
Yeah.
That one, granted, they didn't show it. They did it very tastefully, but I was like, okay.
Right.
Not expecting that, but here we are.
Right.
So when we got to the horrors that were involved with the Laughing Death episode, I was like, okay, this really went some different places.
Oh, yeah.
And then especially, but it ties into a classic Joker theme where, he wants to infect everybody because he thinks it's funny.
Yep.
So.
Well, and he also explains to Batman in this episode that, like, listen, I want to free you. I want to free you from your burden, where you can just kind of let the madness take you.
Yeah. Well, and that take is it's modern.
Yeah.
Because they did not really do this in the early days with the Joker.
No.
I would say more recently, you've seen this in the Scott Snyder run with Greg Capullo. Mm-hmm. And I think they've kept it because it's such a fascinating take that Joker's doing this because he truly cares about Batman, as wild as that sounds. Yeah. And wants to see him do his best. And then he's the jilted lover that when he's focusing the attention elsewhere, that's where he acts up. Like it's an interesting psychology to this. I'm trying to find the right words, but I think that's it. Yeah. And the fact they pulled it off on here, I thought was very, very brilliant.
The episode was near perfect for me. The one thing I just kept pulling me out every time it happened was, for whatever reason, and I had to look this up, the actor who played Joker, Matthew Needham, would sometimes, not consistently, and if you didn't catch this, go back and watch the episode, would sometimes slip into giving Joker a German accent, which just threw me for a loop for when it would happen, because it wasn't consistent. And it would just occasionally peek through, and I'm like, is he German? Is it just like, his natural, dialect, slipping through? No, he's from Kingston upon Thames, colloquially, according to the Wikipedia page, colloquially known as Kingston. It's in the greater London area. So he's, unless he's got, German heritage, in his family, I just thought it was interesting that he would occasionally slip in a German accent on Joker.
The only thing I could think about why that made some sense, but granted, I me, I take a leg right from the comics. I'm like, okay, how would this make sense? Right. As weird as this is going to sound, I want to say it was like the 3 Jokers.
Could be.
But the split personalities.
Could be.
Which I know granted, you're talking about the 3 Joker series with Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok. And then what Chip Zdarsky did in his time with Batman and kind of retconned it. It's a little more convoluted. Yes, I know I'm a comic nerd. I'm proud of it. But it's one of the moments where that's where I took it. Right. That he immediately went into a different persona. Like it's almost like when you go from being Cesar Romero into Jack Nicholson to the late Heath Ledger, and you're kind of like all of them had a different take. Yeah. So that's where I kind of went with it, because it did seem like it made a little more sense. Sure. So, but I do see your point, because a couple times like, well, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like it just like it did. If it happened consistently, I'm like, okay, this is just the choice done by the voice actor, to have it happen as a little bit, differently. Mm-hmm. But no, it just happened on occasion a couple times throughout the episode that it just threw me.
Yeah, which it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I will say I don't struggle with that at all. I think it just depends on the take they want to do, but especially like to be Joker, even on the voice. Right. you have Mark Hamill and you have everybody else, which is not a shot at anybody.
Right.
But let's face it. If you're stepping into that role, you have to do something to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
So I could understand that. But I mean, it's the same thing with Kevin Conroy.
Right.
The late Kevin Conroy. Like,
Right.
you're not going to top
No.
what he did.
No.
There's just no way. Like, he is the voice I think we all hear at some point when we hear Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about how many actors played him and how many other voice actors have played him.
True.
And it's nothing against Linklater, who did a great job with it.
Yeah.
But like I say, when you step into these iconic roles that actors have taken, you have to try switching it up. So, I mean, I think that would explain what they did with the Joker. I think that's why they went to the more graphic sense
Probably.
in the episode, which it's fine.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it ends very open-ended.
Yeah.
So
leaves it open.
So now the question I have for you, Pat, is if you had to say today, yes or no, do you think we're getting season 3?
Without knowing what the numbers are, I would say yes, just because of how well received season 1 was and how, season 2 hasn't been received as well, but I think the audience is still there. I would say yes.
See, I would say this. I do think there is an argument to be made for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, as weird as it's going to sound, I think it's a month too early.
Could be.
And I think that's why you're not hearing more of a buzz.
Could be.
Because the problem is, you think Batman, are you thinking summer?
Not usually.
No. I mean, when they've done movies, granted, they've done a few blockbusters, I will say, in the summer, but primarily you think about the last Matt Reeves movie was February. The next one allegedly is slated for, and I put the biggest asterisk I can on it, December next year.
I don't believe it till I'm sitting in the theater.
Right, or January next year, or 2028, because I don't think they want any part of Secret Wars, if that's even happening.
Oh, God, no.
I should say if, but let's get to Endgame first before we talk anything about Secret Wars.
Doomsday.
You're Doomsday, yeah, thank you. Well, it's going to be Endgame for everybody there when Doom shows up. It's Doom.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, though, I will say there's an argument to be had on this. It's a very quality show if they want to keep going with it.
Yeah.
I'm
all right with it.
Oh, I could definitely see an argument for season 3. I'd like to see a season 3 with how they left it ended, but I could understand if this is done.
Yeah.
Which I would be very sad about, but it's the same thing about whenever you have a great show that there's still a lot of great stories to be had.
True.
So, final thoughts on Cape Crusader Season 2.
Good season, not as good as the first season, but still definitely worth the watch, especially if you need something to pass the time by or you're looking for something to watch these days. I highly recommend this show.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely worth the time. If you want to catch that old school Batman the Animated Series vibe, you'll get it. It's more modernized.
Yeah.
Albeit, though, it's not as sharp as Season 1.
No.
It's still very good, though. But there's still a lot that, when you start putting on the pedestals where it ranks, it's a highly debatable question, which we have no problem talking with you about. So hit us up on the hashtag ODPH pod. What is your thoughts on Batman Cape Crusader Season 2 on Prime Video? Let's discuss. But we're going to get another breakout. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder, and you better listen to the ODPH podcast, or I'm coming for you, and Batman is coming for you.
Coming back for the final segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. Pad, what you got?
Got a couple things to talk about, and the first is obviously some somber news because we do have to acknowledge some of the unfortunate passings we've had in the last couple weeks because they all hurt. The first of which obviously took place yesterday and shocked a lot of people was the passing of Dolly Parton, obviously the country music legend, singer, songwriter, actress, businesswoman,
humanitarian,
philanthropist, did a lot of good for this world and is one of the few people in this world that you can say did not have a mean bone in her body. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I believe it.
Yeah.
Tremendous woman and will be sorely missed by everyone all over the world. The other one that caught us surprise, not even 24 hours later, was the actor Tim Curry passed away. This one, not totally surprising, but still shocking that it happened. He hasn't been in the best of health the last number of years. I know he had a stroke that left him out of the public eye for a long time, but he'd been starting to make some appearances and do some interviews the last couple of years. So unfortunate for him and definitely going to be sorely missed. Obviously a legend in his own right, was in a ton of projects. Rocky Horror Picture Show, Clue, Home Alone 2, It was a fantastic John Silver and Muppet Treasure Island. Seriously, if you haven't seen that movie, go watch it. It's probably the best adaptation of Treasure Island I've ever seen.
That's great.
But yeah, no, definitely will be missed on his part. And then the other one, and the one that probably shocked the hell out of me the most, was the actress Hayden Panettiere, who passed away about 10 days ago as we record. Most known by people for Scary Movie. Or not Scary Movie. Scream was in the Scream franchise. Remember the Titans was Nashville on television. Also Heroes, most known for. But for me, was known as Kairi in the Kingdom Hearts video game series. Started that role in 2002. Voiced her in 3 different adaptations of the game. Obviously a tragic loss. All 3 of these folks, and definitely hitting fans and friends and folks all over the world very hard these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of surreal.
Yeah.
I think especially like
Dolly, like a couple days ago, had put out a video like, oh, I got so much left to live for.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in her situation, I know I've caught on the news a few times that they said that her health was not good. They never came out with the reason why, and nor should they.
No.
There's not a need to.
No.
But I knew that she was not doing well. Tim Curry was kind of surprised, but like you alluded to,
he had a stroke, and you hadn't dropped off the radar entirely for a number of years.
Yeah, so that one. Hayden Panettiere was a very shocking one.
Yeah,
to say the least.
And the thing that sucks about her was it was 24 hours after you had the Kingdom Hearts news announced at D23, where you even had 2 of the main voice actors from the original series that she did work with record a scene on stage together for the first time ever.
Yeah,
they did a scene together, and to have that happen, and then that 24 hours, it was a wild swing of emotions for me as a Kingdom Hearts fan.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just a wild one as well. I mean, when we think celebrities, I mean, Dolly especially. I mean, Dolly transcended music, and I mean, granted, you think country music, she's a very big part of that, always has been.
Oh yeah.
But what she did for pop culture, but I can't stress enough the humanitarian work that she has done.
Yes.
If we could all strive to be like her with kindness, how much better would this world ever be?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like I said, all 3 are shocking, and it's just another reminder. Tomorrow is never guaranteed, so don't leave money on the table, if you get my drift. And obviously, our deepest condolences go out to families, friends, and fans all over the world.
Yeah. Switching over to some video game news. Gamescom is going on, which I totally forgot was a thing and did not realize it was going on. But we got some couple interesting news that got announced on the first night of the show. First of which, and I'd heard rumors this was coming, but this is the first that had been confirmed. Reading from the press center on the cdprojectred.com. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Remastered announced. Songs of the Past gets first look. The press release goes on to say CD Projekt Red is pleased to announce that The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Remastered is launching on September 29th, 2026. A first look at the new expansion Songs of the Past was also shared at Gamescom opening night live. The article goes on to list some bullet points here. Says Songs of the Past is now available to wishlist ahead of its 2027 release. It will take players to the brand new realm of Letton, an idyllic land of rural tradition that hides a dark secret just below the surface. Remastered, a free, you heard that right, free upgrade for existing The Witcher 3 owners on qualifying platforms, brings a slew of upgrades and enhancements to visuals, performance, gameplay, and more when it launches on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X/S. The Witcher 3 is coming to 2 brand new platforms. A native version of Remastered will be released on the Nintendo Switch 2, and through a new partnership between CD Projekt Red and Blizzard Entertainment, Battle.net, both on September 29th. All owners of The Witcher 3 can now play the 2 acclaimed expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, at no additional cost.
Wow.
So if you do not have this game for whatever reason, and you have the ability to play discs, so you have an Xbox or you have one of the disc versions of the PlayStation 5, go to your local game store. Not necessarily, GameStop, but if you have a shop in your area, like for us, I know Sound Around has a bunch of new and older games, you can get this game for super cheap. I happened to pick up, because I was looking for something to play, Oh God, probably 2019, give or take. And
Okay.
I went to GameStop, because it was closer than Soundgarden was for me at the time. And I picked up the I think it was the Game of the Year edition for PlayStation 4, which it was the base game, 2 DLCs, which I think normally when it first came out was probably like, I forget, I don't even remember what the price was, but I picked it up for like $40.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably get it for a lot cheaper than that these days. Highly recommend. It's worth time. I didn't even do everything, and I put 160 hours into the game.
Jeez.
The Blood and Wine DLC might be one of, if not the best DLC stories I've ever played in a video game, period. So highly recommend this. And ow, can you tell they're twisting my arm?
Yeah, I can see the force right now.
I'll say they're really twisting my arm to go play this again when it drops in September. So I am super excited for this because I know they're doing Witcher 4. That's coming at some point down the line. I heard rumors of Witcher 3 remastered.
I heard something about that too.
Did not know they were going to do it for free.
Yeah.
But hey, after the whole debacle with Cyberpunk 2077's release,
Yeah,
they're still trying to win back some favor.
there was a lot of rumor going on about that, but it's good to get some clarification.
Yeah, yep. The other video game news we got a trailer for the upcoming final part in the Final Fantasy VII remake, titled Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Got a release window coming in spring 2027. Trailer looks good. Looks super interesting. I'm interested to see where they go with this. Maybe some changes they might make. You never know. Also wild to think we're getting Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts 4 in the same year. But hey, crazy things have happened. Super excited for this and super excited to see where this goes. And wild to think that it's been like 10 years since they first announced this and it's finally going to be over. Super excited for that.
Yeah.
And then in some television news, we got a trailer for the upcoming 3rd season of The Pitt on HBO and HBO Max. Folks, if you have not seen this show for whatever reason, I am imploring you. New season comes in January. Go watch this show. It is one of the best shows on television or streaming right now. Each season is one shift in the day of this emergency room crew in Pittsburgh. That's why it's called The Pit. Also, The Pit is a nickname for the emergency room. Each episode is an hour in their shift. So and it ain't, you might get, I don't want Grey's Anatomy or, some of the lovey-dovey stuff. You ain't getting this. It's got Noah Wiley as one of the main stars. He was, of course, in ER way back when. It's also got some of the writers and producers from ER working on this show. They've got folks on the show that, like, the procedures they're doing on this show are how they would actually do them in real life. The emergency rooms and the beds and the trays and the drawers that they pull equipment from is how it is actually set up in hospitals. It is ridiculously detailed. It is ridiculously good. I cannot recommend the show enough. Season 3, January. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
Third one I got to talk about is we got a new casting for the upcoming God of War TV series that's coming to Amazon now. If you might remember, Ryan Hurst was originally cast as the main role of Kratos. You might know him from a couple projects, but he also, ironically, was a voice for Thor in the video game series, the 2018 version, and Ragnarok. But unfortunately, due to an accident on set where I want to say he tore a bicep. He either tore a bicep or...
He did something wild.
He tore something that it was going to be like 2 years before they could start filming again. And, well, they couldn't wait for that. So, unfortunately, they had to recast. And, oh, boy, did they recast. Joining the show in the role of Kratos, the god of war, the destroyer of everything, the man that if I had to pick somebody to save Earth and he's an option, yeah, he's my choice.
Brock Lesnar?
No, I'm talking Kratos. I'm choosing Kratos. If the fate of the world is out, listen, no disrespect to Brock Lesnar, but fuck him. If I got Kratos as an option, Kratos is my choice.
The viewpoint of Padawan J does not reflect the rest of the ODPH or Fanlight Zone. Viewer discretion is advised.
But no, playing the role of Kratos, you might know him from Dune. You might know him from Guardians of the Galaxy. You might know him from James Bond. I believe it was Spectre. You might know him as the Animal, Batista. Oh, boy.
Great replacement casting.
Now, everyone might be concerned, he's got to bulk up. He said he doesn't want to bulk up. I have read an article, I think it was Deadline or Hollywood Reporter. I forget which one it was. He was already bulked up for a role he was doing already, so it's not like he's got to bulk up again. He's already bulked up, so he will fit in perfectly for this show. And I am super excited. I'm super excited to see how this works out because it's a tremendous video game series, and they're focusing on the more recent games, so the 2018 version and Ragnarok. So it's the Norse mythology. It's going to get weird. It's going to get wild. You're going to see a lot of violence.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now. Like the first video game, Kratos is fighting a guy. He picks up a whole tree, and I'm not talking a small one. I'm talking like a big, like you can't even wrap your arms around the whole trunk of the tree, and smashes it into a dude. It's going to get wild.
I'm here for it. I think the show's going to be great. I think I like all the casting they've done for it, so
Yeah.
have to see when that comes out.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. I guess I'll throw in one quick one-shot because we did not address this because scheduling conflicts. D23 announced the X-Men casting. Pat, just an overall statement on it. Anyone that really surprised you?
Not really. I mean, well, I'll say this. I was surprised that Adam Driver is playing
Mr.
Sinister because I thought after the experience he had with the Star Wars franchise that he might not do franchise movies ever again. But no, he surprised me. I'm interested to see his portrayal of Mr. Sinister. The whole cast has me interested just because it's on the younger side, so it'll be interesting to see how they play this out. And I'm just interested to see what kind of story they do because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, this is definitely an ensemble cast to say the least. Kit Connor's officially confirmed as Scott Summers. Chris Abbott is officially Charles Xavier. That was the rumors going around. Samara Weaving, that was leaked out before that she was going to be playing Emma Frost. That is confirmed. Indy Navarrete.
Yeah.
Who was tagged as Mystique for the longest time.
Right.
We know her from Lois and Clark, Superman and Lois. Mm-hmm. She is playing Rogue.
Yeah.
I like the casting. I'm more on board with that than
also was in Obsession.
Yep. So
talk about a year she's had.
Oh, she's on a monster role right now. Maya Boyd, perfect as Storm. I'm really enjoying that casting. There is rumors there is going to be more added, which, I mean,
sure.
it does make sense. The X-Men is a large group. But like you alluded to, this is a very young group, especially led by Sadie Sink, who's playing Jean Grey, that we know from Spider-Man Brand New Day. So going against Mr. Sinister, that's an interesting pick for the lead villain. Mm-hmm. However, I like it, and it makes sense for Driver because it's a one and done.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to be lurking around after this one, so that makes sense. I mean, he could always come back depending. I mean, money always talks.
I will say I did like how after the announcement was made, Indy Navarrete put a thing up on her Instagram, like how excited she is, and she did get a comment from another rogue in the Marvel universe. Lenore Zahn.
Oh, cool.
Lenore Zahn did comment on her post and did give her words of encouragement and welcomed her to the family, Sugar.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm here for the camaraderie.
Yeah. Like I say, they still have some more rumors going around. I do not think we're going to hear anything at New York Comic Con.
Krakoa.
Well, no, I mean, the one that I've been hearing, and it's wild, though, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
As either Wolverine.
I've heard everything is.
Or Magneto.
I've heard everyone cast as Magneto and Xavier. The only ones I love at this point are Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor.
Well, like I say,
I'll be fine with whoever, but I heard that one. I'm like, okay, that'd be perfect.
Well, the thing is, because they went somewhat young with Chris Abbott as Charles Xavier, you want to think they'd cast someone around that age.
You would think.
So I don't know. I mean, Cavill, I would like to see him as a villain.
He's a busy dude these days.
He's busy, but like I say, I could see him being a villain of some sort.
Sure.
I mean, it just depends on what he wants to play, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But like I say, I don't expect to hear anything around New York Comic Con. That'll be focused on Vision Quest, and we'll get into that obviously later in the time.
I just looked it up. I'm not joking, folks. Henry Cavill's a busy dude. According to his IMDb page, he's got 8 upcoming projects.
Yeah.
One, two, what is it? Three are in post production. 1, 2, 3, 4 are in pre-production. One's got a production unknown. Like, good Lord.
One of them could be X-Men. He could be Morph. I'll throw it out there right now.
Ooh, I'm all right with that.
So we could just hear someone go, Morph.
Yeah.
On that note, though, it is New Comic Book Day, and we got to close out the show talking about the picks of the week. So, Pat, what you got?
I'm going to recommend to you and the folks at home Amazing Spider-Man issue number 35. Specifically, this is Legacy issue 999. So you know what that means, folks. Issue 1000 is coming next, and holy smokes is Joe Kelly setting up for what's sure to be one of the biggest milestone issues in not just Marvel history, but I would say comics history.
Anytime you hit 1,000, that's huge.
I will not say what happens in this issue, but I will read the little blurb it's got here. Damage control comes with a cost. With only one issue before Amazing Spider-Man number 1000, Spidey will be tested like never before by Ghost Spider? Damage Control's latest target creates bad blood with the wall crawler. Just how far is Spidey willing to go? This issue is nuts. There's a couple things I did not see coming, and the ending is going to leave people shocked and talking. It's nuts, and it's got me very excited to see what they do in issue 1000.
Yeah, I was going to say, the road to issue 1000, they know there's a lot to live up to.
Okay.
So I would expect them to go really crazy with that issue. There's going to be 9,000 covers for that pretty much. Like it's going to be an event, which it should be. I mean, because this is, I believe, the first time Marvel's hit 1,000.
I think so.
I
believe so.
Because I think if they had not canceled Journey in the Mystery way back when, then that would have been, but...
Probably.
But then again, I got to do a lot of math for that one. But either way, it's going to be an event. They're going to go swing for the fences with that one. I think I really think they're going to do a great job with it. So we'll have to see. On my end, I wrote way too many reviews. There's too many picks for me, but I will throw one in here because let's just say right now there is an event that is taking place in the Superman universe. Is the Kingdom of Zod. It is a wild storyline, and what happens in issue 41 this week of Superman, written by the one and only Joshua Williamson, and Eddie Barrows is on the art. I know they've been kind of going back and forth with him and Dan Mora. Let's just say something major happens, and it kind of throws a curveball into what has been a very very steady formula for the crossover. Like, hasn't been anything super wild. This one threw a massive curveball into play.
Okay.
So I think that is one you definitely want to go check out. If you haven't checked out the Kingdom of Zod, it's really picking up steam now.
Nice.
Just because Superman is back from DCKO, I don't feel that's a spoiler. They've had a couple annuals explaining that already, so it is there. And I'll throw one more quick pick in because it's Skybound. We love Skybound. Void Rivals 33. Rom, the Space Knight, is officially in the Energon universe.
Huh.
Juan, shout out to Juan from our team at Fanlight, loves this issue. I thought it was cool, and like I say, if you know about Rom and you grew up in the era of Rom, like I'm going to date myself, Joey, Juan, you know Rom is a big deal, so this is a major win for Skybound. They have a monster week this week with that, Terminal, Capes. They have a lot of books out this week, so definitely go check it out. If you need reviews, fanlightzone.com is the place you got to go. Over 31, 2, 3, 4, we're over 30 at least written. I lose track. We do a lot of work, folks. Then let alone, shout out to our video team, 14 video reviews up there as well on YouTube. So no matter how you consume your comics content, Fanline Zone has got you covered. On that said, phone is going off. So obviously some people are saying we got to end the show. So for that being said, for the one and only Padawan J.
Thank you.
I'm your host, Ken. Thank you as always. Listen to the ODPH podcast. We'll see you next time.